Justin, I have to film this week.
Well, you're getting just as close as Tyler does with the camera. So,
What do we got?
what we're doing here is the inconvenient part of when you open up a big build, is opening up all the packages. And we have a lot of boxes to go through here because
What are we
we're doing our second Procharger system for the C8. See, we have a lot of paper donuts here. We did one before on the red car. I want to say probably about a year ago.
Yeah, probably pretty close to it.
Yeah. So this is the trunk cover. So as you can see, this is where the intake tube sits. So I got to go through all these boxes, get all this stuff out. But our test subject this time is this Smurf Blue. Don't know the proper name for it.
Name?
It's my name
for it. I do not know the
it.
Chevy name.
Well, I'm not really a Chevy guy. You have a guy here for that, but
He's over there.
yeah, he's working on a Corvette. He's fine. Anyway, Smurf Blue. We have the bone stock V8 in there.
Which, that's all coming out. It's all going to get changed.
Yeah, so basically the way it works, real quick, we add a shaft onto the stock pulley system. So we basically add another pulley, has a shaft that goes here, runs the pulley for the supercharger. This manifold gets swapped. We add a heat exchanger or a radiator onto the side that has a water pump, keeps the system separate. And then a bunch of other.
And that cover goes kind of back here. Where that
yeah, so basically here. Because the intake tube, your intake sits right here. The tube, the supercharger is probably like right about here. And the tube comes around this way, so they make you the cover that kind of adapts to that tube, so that can sit there. And then this time, one of the things we battled last time was the tune. It wasn't available.
Battled was an understatement.
Yeah. So that had a lot of like timing controllers and stuff in it. This one now, they've all figured out. We can send the ECU out to Procharger, have it pro-tuned by them. It works out a lot better. There's no like add-on controllers or CAN systems.
It was pretty much a piggyback system that plugged in and hijacked
like a very
everything.
old school kind of like hijack.
That was
system.
before SEMA, before they came out with anything. It was one of the original Procharger kits. It was a piggyback. That was before HP tuners had any access to the ECUs, which was a long time coming.
Right.
And now they run night and day.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Night and
anytime you have a real ECU, right? Big difference.
Night and day. So we got to unbox everything here. We still got a lot of unboxing to do.
And then I believe on top of this, we also have a catback somewhere going on.
You're right. I think you're right. I think we need to get them some engine lights too. So I'm gonna see if we can do
that could be for another time. Anyway.
And and also the DCT service. That's
yeah. So we are doing that, which I did do on the red car also.
Probably spark plugs too.
I don't know what else he's doing, but whatever. Yeah, the most important thing is that if you do install the supercharger system from Procharger on yours, is that you keep the stock headers because these are designed for the stock header systems. So they'll go putting headers on your car and then have them. I mean, maybe they figured it out by now. Who knows? But unless they say otherwise, just keep it the way it is. The cars sound great with it on there anyway. And on top of the DCT service, we are adding an extra 2 quarts of fluid, which they suggest to do if you're taking the car on the track or very, very heavy driving, which if you're putting one of these kits on your car, you're most likely probably driving it pretty hard. So we're going to be doing that. And then, yeah.
Cool. Sounds good. So we'll get some unboxing and, I guess we'll dive into it very shortly.
Yeah.
All right, so this is one of my favorite boxes. We opted for the black.
So on the red car, we had this when it was delivered raw, kind of like the Manifold, and then we got it painted red. But this one has like a nice wrinkle, kind of powder black on it that he must have chose. So that's the cover. This is literally just the cover to sit over this beast of a manifold that gets put on the car.
Which is polished, basically aluminum.
Yeah, it's
Isn't
just
that a cooler as well,
aluminum
too, Justin?
So yes, exactly. There's a heat exchanger or a cooler brick inside of here, and then you add the water pump to it, and then it flows coolant in and out to cool down the air going inside the engine. So
that's that. I think we have the Prochargers in that box, which will
unlock. This is the supercharger in here.
Make a big mess.
Which I have it open if you want to look at.
Let's check it out. Belt, clamps. There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, there she is.
It's like a turbo on this side, and it's like a supercharger on this side. So there she is.
There she is. Make all the power.
This one looks bigger than the other one.
It does kind of look a little bigger. Pretty sure it's the same kit.
Yeah, hopefully. Guess we'll find out.
We'll check back in.
Yep.
All right, Justin, we're back.
What's up?
What's going on?
So we are starting the disassembly of all the stock stuff. So first things first, we take off the panel, the cover to the back here. We take off our stock air box, which is on the ground here. You can see this hose goes right to the throttle body, and then it pulls in air from the sides.
Oh yeah, right from the holes.
Yeah, there's ducts right here. So those are pretty much irrelevant now. Because
so if you did an upgraded intake on it, it would replace.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's made a box. I'm sure maybe somebody out there has created a box. I know that it was popular to change the filter in them. But in terms of flow-wise, I'm not too sure if anyone's really messed with that. But that's the box out. That thing is pretty much irrelevant now because we're not going to be using it. Our supercharger is going to be sitting like right in this vicinity here. Then the tube will come out, and it'll pretty much be pulling the air from this side of the duct. You can see there's a lot of wiring harnesses and stuff that are attached to the actual box. So all that needs to come out, and then you have the breather for the transmission too. And then we move to the forward here. We're going to be pulling this manifold off. So everything that's attached to it, the PCV, and then all the other, brackets and stuff are off. And then there's all these 10 millimeters. So this manifold will be coming off. And then we have to do some modification of the fuel line and stuff, if I remember correctly. And then we can move forward to, we're going to be installing the shaft for the pulley system. And then I believe we put the manifold back on.
So we'll get a video of the manifold coming off.
Yep.
And then back here, Justin, that's where the cap back would split, right?
Yeah,
these clamps
so
here,
right here is where you remove your stock cap back. There's no other joints other than, there might be a muffler clamp or something down there, but then you slide that whole unit out. These are your primary cats here. And then you have your headers up here. So
Perfect.
A lot of the guys go like the Fab Speed stuff up here, but like I said, for this kit, it's engineered to not have that kind of stuff on the car. So
right.
These guys will be staying on there. But yes, that's technically how you would, the process of removing the cats there.
Cool. So we'll get the manifold off next.
Yep.
All right, let's go see what Justin's doing. See where we're at on the C8. Justin, what's up?
So
we're back again.
Yeah.
Looks like a lot got done since we last spoke.
Yeah. So this is the part where you really don't see much on the front of the engine because a lot of it is obviously it's limited space. It's nothing that you're going to be seeing on top here, and most of it's going to be hidden from the manifold anyway. But the way it works is you basically take off your stock belt assembly. And then you're adding this bracket here that bolts onto the back of the cylinder head, and then you're adding this secondary bracket that has these two bearings on it. And what the purpose of those bearings is that you have a longer belt, and then it adds this shaft. So your accessory belt's running this drive shaft now, and that's going to come up here to the supercharger belt, and that's what's basically going to rotate the supercharger itself. There's no other way of really running it, a belt-driven one at least, because your belt's in the front, there's no room for it there. So you need this kind of system. The key to this is relocation. So you're relocating your fill for your oil. Usually the tube comes about here, it mounts here, and then you can fill the oil right here. It comes with everything. It switches to like a rubber one. It has an AN cap right here and everything, so you'll fill the oil like that. This coolant line gets moved out of the way. All the other stuff that's attached to the head gets moved out of the way because when this thing's spinning, it's moving pretty quick. So anything that touches it or it's close to it will probably get burnt up or
wrapped
damaged.
around it.
Yeah, so even like these harnesses and stuff like that need to get relocated. So that's kind of key. It is not a fun process trying to get these brackets in the back here. Just like I said, you're either working at the bottom and it's uncomfortable, or you're working at the top and you're basically laying on top of everything.
Yeah, no comfortable way on this. It's not even like you're going straight in from the back like a Lambo.
This is not a comfortable car to work on.
Take another angle here. If you were to stand behind the bumper, you're still reaching
Yeah.
way over
You
like
can't
this.
even- it's not humanly possible to get back there. So your only option is to basically lay over the side of the car, pray that you don't scratch it, and get in there. So now that this is primarily the harder part of the installation, now we'll move on to being able to probably put the manifold on, and then running the coolant lines and the coolant pump for that, and then get to the actual supercharger mounting and
Cool.
finish her up.
What do we got over on the table here for spare parts?
So this is the stock fill tube, this is what I was talking about. So this is way too beefy to get in there. Stock manifold. This is the noise insulation that goes under it. I don't believe this goes back on either. And then these are just the strut braces that run along the sides here.
Yep.
So those come out, which those can go back in.
So next thing we're gonna do is drop that manifold down on there.
I believe so. We have to assemble the fill tube because once that manifold's on, you can't get to.
Yeah, pretty much everything in there is
Yeah, and then I got to look at the instructions, but I'm pretty sure it's to do the fill tube, and then we'll start getting the manifold, plop down on there.
So we'll let you get the fill tube on it, and then we will come back and try to videotape the manifold going down.
Sounds
good.
good.
What's up? All right. All right. Today's the 25th. Let's see where Justin's at. We have officially 1 day left to finish this up. Let's go take a look where he's at. Justin.
Yo.
You doing? We're supposed to be getting this thing together. Where are we at?
I'm waiting on you, bro.
Where are we at?
Yeah.
Woo! Look how much is done over here.
So
We missed a little bit, huh? Manifold's on, and
I think you were out gallivanting or something.
oh boy. Anyway, let's follow up here since I missed a little bit.
So where we left off, we were about to put the stock manifold on, or I'm sorry, the Procharger manifold on. So everything's mounted. Our belt system's in, obviously, because the extension shaft is mounted onto our Procharger, which uses this sub bracket that attaches to the stock transmission cooler here.
Yep.
So you add this bracket, and then it adds the bracket here. That mounts the Procharger.
And that's driven off the shaft that we talked about yesterday.
Yeah, so the drive shaft that comes from the front pulley system of all the pulleys that you add drives the rear belt, which drives the supercharger, creates all the boost. Not yet, but obviously we'll have the piping that goes from there to there. Manifolds in place. So the last one we did was kind of like the jank tune system. Now they've figured everything out. So the way this works is you have a map sensor in here, an upgraded map sensor, and then it has this wire that plugs directly into the PCM connection. So there's no guesswork as to where the pressure is or anything like that.
Last time we basically didn't have that. They didn't have the map sensor. It was kind of just
there was like a map voltage thing that was like a trigger. So it was a nightmare.
this is the way to do it. I mean, and they run night and day, which we've
100%.
proven. I mean, even the other client that has the red one who's actually going with us this weekend to a car show, but runs night and day.
Yeah.
So because he saw this one we were doing, and he's like, make sure you tune it with the HP.
There's no other option now. That's the way it would go. We made an EVAP line here. Because the stock hard line comes around this way, so I made a new one that routes under the manifold, comes over there, nice and clean. So next step is we're going to be starting to do the cooling system. So where the radiator mounts is this duct in here. There's a fan right here, and then this shroud is just basically an empty shroud. Mm-hmm. So that whole shroud comes out, and then it gets replaced by the actual radiator. Then we'll have the water pump. It has a little reservoir. Then we'll run the AN lines that go in to the manifold here. See one there, and then the fill here. So it'll be the.
So those lines basically come through and they run down.
Yeah. So
go through your cooler there.
The bottom, and then all the air gets in and obviously cools it down while you're driving. Cools the air going into the motor. So that's the next step.
So you guys got it. It's in, wedged in there, shoehorned in there, I should say. Yeah. Get a side view from over here where you guys can see the gear that drives it with the big belt, and then the shaft that runs all the way to the back Justin was talking about. Yeah. So.
And then you can see our new oil fill is this. Takes a little bit longer to fill up because you don't have, unless you have an AN like quick fill line or something like that.
So that's now the new fill for.
It definitely takes a little bit longer, so you got to have some patience when you do oil changes.
It's nice though. It looks clean. Nice setup on there. But
nice.
If you made a little extension tool on there, that is nice to be able to pump it in there. Yeah. So.
And then once we go to fill the coolant too, it's kind of the same way. It has an AN line on top with a hose that they give you, and it fills it up that way. So.
Well, we'll check back in for the coolant system when you have that mounted in there, and then shortly thereafter is everybody's favorite part, which is the
cold start?
Yeah.
Well, once we get the ECU back.
That's true. We have a little time on that too.
Yeah.
All right.
Not out of the woodwork yet.
Yeah. We're probably gonna have to roll this next door for some vinyl work and PPF, and then do the cold start over there. So it's probably gonna happen. Okay. All right. We'll see you later, Justin.
Meanwhile.
All right, Mike.
The C8, the C8's in your hands now.
Yeah.
Jay Fudge is working on it next door, putting the whole Procharger on it, and I know we still have some more work to do after we're done with it on this side. But let us know.
Yeah. So the guy wanted some extra horsepower, so he dropped the Procharger on it, and then he wanted even more horsepower, so we're gonna wrap the top in gloss black.
Oh, and then even more horsepower because John's doing full body PPF.
Exactly. So on these cars, what I like to do with them, because they look good what they are, but they're just too what they are. They kind of need something to break it up.
They do.
So to give them more an exotic look, what I like to do is a black top.
Cool.
So what I'll do is do the full pillar here, do the top here.
Yep.
Do all this here, and then usually what I'll do is, obviously the hood's up right now, or the bonnet's up right now, so normally what I'll do is I'll do a black coming down to here and here, and kind of give it like a, a different look to it, and kind of make the whole top almost look like the 720S, or just more exotic, breaks it up a little bit. But.
We're back at it.
What's up, bro?
It is now your turn to take over the C8 Corvette project. It first started off with Fudge with the Procharger.
Yeah.
Mike did the nice roof wrap on it, the custom pieces.
Yeah.
And now we're on to PPF and we're doing full body on this thing. How do you feel
You can
about
actually
it?
see the process. We're kind of midway.
We've been underway.
We've been underway a little bit, so I'm at the point where we extend the edges over, and then all this gets trimmed out. Fenders are on, headlights are on, up to the bumper.
Awesome.
But yeah, we're doing the. You can see, you can kind of see actually now what Mike's done. Sorry for all the soap and everything, but the pillars are already wrapped. So we've done gloss black vinyl. Mike did gloss black vinyl first, and then we actually put our PPF on top of it to protect that.
And it gives it such a more deeper look.
Yeah, and it protects it too. Because vinyl's nice. We coat it anyways, but we're gonna. And then I have to do like a kind of a custom piece in here, so you don't see like a line.
Yeah, it's gonna look so good.
That. But and then we're still trying to see. We'll have
these are different.
Yeah, they're not factory. It's driving.
These aren't factory, and then the front splitter isn't factory either. Yeah. So I believe you'll probably have to do a custom piece on it.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
I've seen similar, but our software has 10 different tiers of these trim levels.
It does.
And
we were actually trying to build C8s the other day to try to figure out if this was factory or not.
You can't get it, so it's got to be the bumper. He didn't.
It's MIA.
I guess he didn't buy the bumper.
It's MIA. We can at least see the Z06 style exhaust he put on, and then of course there's the Procharger back there that you guys saw at the beginning of the video. Yeah. But hopefully
I guess we have to customize that because it's a different.
Right. It's the center exit instead of the sides that come factory on the C8.
Yeah.
So
it's at least so I don't know where's that. I mean, that's a question we probably
maybe we should ask next door.
We should ask next door where the bumper's at because but yeah, I got this underway here.
Yeah, it's looking really good.
So the fender's on. So we got about half of it wrapped right now.
Cool.
And yeah, just cruising away, another C8. So cool.
Awesome.
One eternity later.
Jay Fudge.
Yes, sir.
We're back at it on the C8.
Yeah, getting this rear bumper on.
Yep.
So we have the Le Mans edition exhaust on,
But
which looks pretty much like a Z06.
yeah,
like
Z06 style exhaust. I like it.
Yeah.
It's clean.
So with the rear bumper off, we're gonna have to modify pretty much the lower valence on the bumper.
Okay.
We're gonna make a cut here, and then we're gonna take out some of this section, add this section on the bottom, so basically those 4 tips are going to be sitting in here.
Okay.
And then the side bezel here. Because now you're going to have a big open gap here because there's no tips coming out. So you add kind of like a filler with still a little bit of a mesh in there.
Sweet.
On the sides. So first cut we're going to do is here. And then we're going to drill some holes in here for the mounting and everything.
Cool.
And then we're going to take some stuff out here and go from there. So should be fun. You know, I always love chopping up bumpers and stuff. So.
Yeah, that's the best, right? Yeah. And then after Fudge, we're going to get everyone's favorite part. Not that, but the cold start.
Oh. Okay. Sounds good.
Looks good. I like it.
Sounds good. I'm just kidding. I don't know what it sounds like.
Okay, Fudge.
Tyler?
Got the bumper here.
Yep. So we have our new valence fitted.
Wow. We got these.
A little dusty from all the cutting, but it comes pre-painted with the graphite gray or whatever, the flash gray, whatever they call it, the Corvette. Like,
Yep. The little, it's got like
plastics.
the little sparkle in it.
Yeah.
It's nice. And then,
so, yep.
I like
you
it,
see
Fudge.
the center
Yep.
with the stock grills. It's just cut, and then the replacement pieces on the
Yeah,
side.
so that's where the factory exhaust sits on the C8s.
That's it.
Looks good.
Thank you.
Let's get this thing on there. You were not going to be able to tell. Is this a Z06 or is this a normal C8?
Zio 5.5, baby.
Whoa!
Oh. I'm a little upset with myself. I cut one link right here a little too short. Damn. I don't think you see it.
Not in the car.
Not everything can be perfect.
Nope. Z06 style tips or tipping?
It's the Le Mans edition, okay?
Le Mans, alright. The La C8.
The
It's
what?
the La C8.
The Lost C8?
La.
Oh. We're fancy over here.
La C8. With the tips.
Oh, yeah?
I like that. What's next, Fudge?
Put the bumper and the fender liner back on, and then it has to go back next door for John.
Sweet.
The next day.
J Fudge.
Tyler,
We're here in the C8.
you're here in the blue on blue.
Blue on blue with a little noise in the back now.
Yeah, what's back there, Tyler?
Oh!
A Procharger.
Looks good. Sounds good too.
Yeah. So we have the completed Procharger back
Yep.
there. On top of that, we did the full body clear bra.
Yep.
A little bit of vinyl work on the roof, and then I did a full transmission, so filter and fluid service on it also.
Sweet.
So this car is ready to go. As you can see, we're driving it, and it sounds great.
Sounds crazy.
Yeah.
We'll definitely have to get some flybys.
Sounds good.
Here we are, Fudge.
Here we are.
The blue. This
blue
thing
on
sounds
blue.
crazy, bro. I have to say, this sounds.
It sounds
nuts.
broken, but that's just the way it sounds. So
Right.
let's take a tour back here. We have the completed Procharger setup. As you can see, we replaced this, like the access cover too, cut the carpet out. So that's all set. Full body clear bra. It already had the wing on it.
The wing. I do like the wing. It's
The
something
wing looks
different.
good, yeah. And then also, I forgot.
The exhaust is sick.
It's kind of like a Z06 conversion exhaust.
Yeah.
So it comes with that bottom piece. Comes with the bottom piece to fit the 4 tips in the center, and then also comes with these block-off plates on the side.
Yep.
So kind of see that together.
It looks really good.
Yeah, she's running good. It's fully tuned by Procharger, so there's no piggybacks or anything. It's an actual ECU tune, which makes a huge difference. Because before, with the timing controllers and all that, it was a very just janky system.
Yep.
So this completes it really nice. So you can still take your target top off,
Yep.
put it in the back, kick your AC on, and then you can have a supercharger. So
Yeah, it's cool.
yeah.
It's cool. This is the second kit we've done now, so it's cool to see. I like how he added the exhaust though.
Yeah,
the first
exhaust-
kit we did.
The first guy had the Borla on
Yep.
with the stock, which we had done that Borla like when they first came out.
Yep.
So This I don't know how long it's been out, but
It's sick looking.
I haven't seen it yet, so that's a newer one. And then the only other difference is the engine cover. He got the wrinkle black instead of the.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Fudge, let's
Yeah.
go get some flybys, get some B-roll of this thing, and then send it on its way.
Glad you asked.
All right, Fudge, let's hear this thing. Fudge, this thing sounds crazy,
A
bro.
little noisy back there, huh?
Crazy, crazy.
I think this is probably one of my favorite exhausts for these. It
It's
sounds
loud.
so much different.
It's loud.
It really sounds a lot different.
Super exotic sounding too.
Yeah. And it looks good back there too.
Really good.
Yeah.